Hello, hello. Welcome to Coffee and a Card, a day and a half late. But I haven't been on for a couple of weeks as I was away. I had a trip to Florida to visit family and friends, and we had a great time. So I haven't been on for a while, so I thought, let me hop on real quick today. Let me change my glasses so I can see better. Oh, that's much better. Thank you. We'll wait a couple minutes, see who hops on today. Um, yeah, so we had a nice vacation in Florida. I was driving home yesterday. We spent the night in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and so wasn't able to do a live demo in the car. Um, Friday before, we had some plans with family and went to, I guess it was last Friday. We went to a museum in Tampa, an art museum. That was nice. And then also this past week, we went to a glass museum in St. Petersburg, which was really awesome. It's amazing what people have done with glass between sculptures and like little scenes or, um, just a lot of home decor. It's just amazing. Um, anyway, so that was a lot of fun. Visited my dad and his gal Carol, and visited my friends Barbara and Jeff, and we saw Tina and Ross. All my friends. I was best friends with Tina in high school, and Barb I knew from when I was a wee one in elementary school. She lived in my neighborhood. So it's kind of fun reconnecting with old friends again. Thanks, Lydia. Welcome back. Oh, aren't you so sweet? I've got a nice cup of tea today. It's a blustery day. Not too bad temperature wise if the wind doesn't blow, but when the wind blows, it's chilly out there. Oh, Debbie, you're in Arizona? Oh, wow. Okay, well, you're much warmer than Vermont. That's for sure. They probably got a lot of snow up there. I know our town here in Maryland had some wet snow. Well, stuck the grass a little bit. Maybe Lydia could attest to that. Um, and luckily, we just hit a little bit of rain on our drive. Don't want to be driving in bad weather. Ugh, I don't know. Hey, from Toronto. Ooh, must be getting cold up there, Fern. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in today. All right. Yeah, so enjoy your trip, Debbie, and stay warm in Arizona. Yep. So afternoon tea on a nice blustery November day. We'll be watching Army football later on tonight. They're playing Notre Dame, and we're hoping Army wins. We used to live near West Point and go to the games, so we've become Army fans. And they're doing quite well, but Notre Dame is one of the top 10 and, tough team to beat, but it'll all be fun. It's fun. Fun to have something to root for, right? So, anyway, while I was in Florida, I was working on some Christmas cards, actually, and I started using, let me split my screen here a little bit, half and half, so I can see. I was using these dies, these Christmas labels that are so pretty. Oh my gosh, really fancy and really dresses up your sentiments. It coordinates with the Christmas label stamp set, where these curved and angled stamps actually fit very nicely into these die cuts. So, hi, Tina. Hi, Lois. Okay, Tina, are you home now from your fabulous trip? Can't wait to hear all about it. Hi, Nancy. Good afternoon. Oh, Arkansas. Nice to see you today. So I was using this, and as I was die cutting them out, I was left with scraps like this. And when you're doing Christmas cards, you have a lot of these kind of scraps and whatever. I said, gee, that's kind of pretty as a frame. I said, maybe I can do something with that. So that's what we're going to use today. I just kind of took what I had here and evened off the ends and used it on a card. So I thought, let me just share that with you. I not even totally unpacked with all my stamping stuff. We got home not even 24 hours ago. So, and then we were kind of tired and you have to unpack a little bit, throw the laundry in and do all that. And then this morning we went food shopping and then we stopped over to see the grandkids. Couldn't wait to do that. Had to get that in right away. So I just spent an hour with my daughter and her family and said, okay, I want to hop on with you guys. So I have these here. These are obviously not Christmas cards, but these are two beautiful cards that I got in the mail before I left. And I thought it was so interesting that they used the same color palette from two of my friends and team members. So I just thought that was kind of fun with the same pinks and greens and a little touch of the golds. So aren't they so pretty? Oh, just love those. Oh, they must have been on the same wavelength there. Oh. So just think of how much you love getting cards. It's a surprise, right? Because not many people send out cards. So just think of how nice that is, how you feel, and pass that on to others. All right. We make a lot of cards, and sometimes we don't know what to do with them all because we make probably more than we need sometimes. So just send them to somebody. Keep them in your purse. Keep them in the car to just hand out to somebody who might need a smile. Just say, have a good day on your card or something. I might hand out little ones to give to our favorite cashiers at the grocery store or the post office, right? That might say Christmas or might say Thanksgiving, whatever. Just thank you for all you do, right? Just bring a smile to someone's face. Hi, Nadine. Oh, thank you. It's good to be home. Nice to travel, but also good to be home. Hi, Jackie and Lynn. Yeah, I'm going to be seeing Lynn real soon. She and I have a birthday coming up right after Thanksgiving, and we're going to go out to lunch. So looking forward to that. And Lydia's going to join us. It'll be nice. Both are my team members and friends. So nice to make connections. I'm going to take another sip of tea. Hope you have something too. I have to drink my tea before it cools off because once it gets room temperature, and it's close right now, it gets a little not fun, not good. Okay, so I was debating what colors to use today, but if you are crafting along, mention that in the comments just so I kind of know if there's somebody crafting along. I might not go so fast, or I might make sure that you're with me here. Hi, Gloria. Nice to see you from Indiana. Gloria said she was getting a few inches of snow the other day. Spoke to her. Okay, so you need a colored piece of cardstock. I have my colors down here. Here, let me do one in, let's see, this is Cherry Cobbler. I might want to do real red. Hopefully I have some real red here. Oh, is that it? No, that's Poppy Parade. Like I said, I didn't even unpack yet. Or I might just use Cherry Cobbler. That's okay, because I think I didn't even really choose my focal image yet. I thought I'd see what the whim hits me as I go along here. All right, so you need a piece that is 4 by 11. Okay. Oh, Jackie. Oh, both my Jackies. Okay, nice. Oh, Tuna found you. Hello, hello. Yeah. Jackie E and Jackie M. One of my team members joining today. Love it. Okay, then we're going to score twice. We're going to score it in half at 5.5. And if you saw my post on Facebook, or if you're on my mailing list, you got an email this morning. It has these measurements, so you can go back and look at them, and you don't have to worry about writing them down and remembering them here. Okay, then we're going to also score at 2 3/4, which is half of the 5.5. And if you are an avid card maker, you might be trying to figure out where we're going with this. You can actually go a couple ways. we're going to burnish that with our bone folder. And okay, Lydia. Oh, you'll do fine. I'm glad you are. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? I cut 4. Silly me. I meant to do 4.5. Luckily this one, 4.25. Luckily this one's bigger. Okay. 4.25. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Okay, don't worry. I'll do something with that other piece. All right. So we're going to score 5.5 and 2.75. Okay, don't worry, Lydia. This one's not so bad. It's not too difficult. All right, I'm going to flip this so that you see a bigger screen of my desk. Here we go. All right. So we are going to burnish those score lines. And then this one we're going to fold inward. So if you're looking at this, you might say, oh, it's going to be a Z fold, which it could be. That's how we start a Z fold. But this one's going to be an easel card, meaning this one's going to fold in. And then we're going to prop it up like this so that it's going to stand up right here. Another piece, our white piece is going to stand up here like an easel. Okay. So there we go. Let me get another sip of tea. Okay. Then we need 3 pieces of white at your typical first layer, 4 by 5.25. And one of those should be embossed. Okay, could be whatever theme you're going with, just do the embossing. Now, one of these plain pieces is what's going to be on the inside. So if you're going to stamp something on there, do that ahead of time. But hold off for now because we're going to need something to prop up the easel. So we're going to be gluing a little something down there with a dimensional dot so that it's going to stop it from falling. Okay, so it will hold up. All right, so let's just leave that aside for a moment. And your embossed piece, when you emboss something, it kind of softens the paper because it breaks the fibers down a little bit. And this is going to be our card front, but it's only going to be attached to the bottom part of the colored cardstock. And when that's standing up, I just felt that was just a little bit too flimsy. So I decided that we should just back it on another piece of white. So go ahead, and if you're stamping along, either live or watching the replay, go ahead and do that. It just gives it a little more stability. Now I'm using the So Swirly embossing folder. This is one of those really big ones. Okay, so it's really the size of your plates that you put in through your cut and emboss machine. So, hi Barbie Ann in Pennsylvania, and Heather, welcome. Glad to see a lot of you on today. Thanks for joining us. Okay, don't forget to give me a little thumbs up or some hearts there, and feel free to share this video too. I really appreciate that. That really helps me out to reach more people. All right, so this is the So Swirly. What's nice about it is you can do 2 pieces in here at one time, and because it is like just random swirls, it's not like it has to be in any particular spot. So that's what's one thing that's kind of nice about it. Now remember, this one is not a 3D. This one is just one of the little thinner ones. It's more flexible. So you need a little bit different sandwich than you use with the 3D ones. So just read those directions on your machine. Let's glue this down. It's the same size. I'm going to put the glue on this one. It's a little bit easier to make sure I get close to the corners, but not enough to seep out. Okay, those people who have trouble with liquid glue, it's usually because they use a little too much. I do very thin beads of glue on the edge, And then if it does glop a little bit, I just spread it with the tip of the applicator. And then it's not going to seep out. We're just going to spread just enough to get to the edges or the corners. Okay. And then we're going to decorate this. Eventually we will put it on the front here. Actually, it would be okay if you wanted to put it on the front. But let's decorate first. A little bit easier, less bulky this way. All right, then we need a piece of the same color cardstock that's going to be 3/8 by 2.5. So I'm just going to use this piece that I messed up on before. And that part was 2 3/4. So now 2.5 by 1 1/8. Now, if you want, you can make this a little bit bigger. If you want more of a border, that's up to you. And then I have a white piece that is 2 7/8. So 1/4 less than the red piece. Okay, so 2 7/8 by 2 1/4. Nope. Yes. Sorry. 2.5. Yep. This is 2.5. This one is 2 1/4. There we go. So you see that's going to have just a nice little border like that. So before we glue that on, we're going to die cut this. So if you missed the beginning, if you weren't on right at the beginning, I was sharing how I was making my Christmas cards, and I'm using the Christmas labels. And I had stamped, I'm going to be stamping this Merry Christmas to you, or some will have celebrate the holidays in all the ways for the people that I know do not celebrate Christmas, or if I'm not sure, just have some options. So as I was die cutting a whole bunch of these, I was deciding to die cut them first and then stamp. You can go either way, but for this bulk amount, I figured let me just stamp them all. So I had a long sheet. I had measured, just a little wider than the die, and I had a long strip of the white, and I just went right down the strip, one after the other, and I cut 80 so far. I have probably another 40 or so to do. So then I was looking at these and I said, oh, this could be a nice frame on something, right? So that's what we're going to do. Just I'm starting you with the size piece that you need for the card. So let's take this die and just going to pretty much center it right on there. And like I said, if you wanted, you can have a little bit more on either side. Let me see if I made a little mistake here. No, that's right. Yeah, okay. Right. So we're going to run that through our machine. I have my mini right here so that I can just do it right on the desktop. Nice to keep it handy for these little dies. Okay, so I have my number 1 and 2 plates here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put a little washi tape on there so it doesn't get crooked. I do want it centered left to right and up and down. On the edge of my desk here, I have these little pieces of used washi, and I use them until they have absolutely no sticky left. Because sometimes they're just a little too sticky in the very beginning. No sense tearing off new washi when you got some here. Okay. Oh, hello, my friend Karen. I'm so glad you got on today. Just after 1 o'clock there, I guess. Huh? All right. So, of course, you can use the die that you just cut out. But instead, for this card, we're going to use the scrap. So save this for another card. And, oh, you know what I did? I just accidentally, I broke the die cut. Not the die cut. All right, so this one, I'm going to show you in a second. You have to be careful getting these out because there are splits in the die cut. That look like they're supposed to come out. Now this die is a little sticky. I need to run it through some wax paper. You know, like if you cut it with wax paper, cut some wax paper with it rather, then it tends to kind of lubricate it a little bit. All right, I think because I used it so much last week. All right, so I'll show you what I just did by accident. These are, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Okay, these have little splits in them, right? But right here, it was attached. Okay, there's a little nub there. There it was attached, and I accidentally just poked that. It's supposed to be just a slit here, a slit here. All right, so I poked my finger right through that, and the same thing here, I poked that through. I was just being a little too zealous and not being careful what I'm doing, but it's not a problem if you're just going to glue it down on your card anyway. If you were going to pop it up on dimensionals, then that might kind of show. All right. Or the other thing you can do is possibly just snip that off. And I did try that at one point. I'll show you what I did. Actually, one thing that I did was I stamped something and it didn't come out well on here. Like when I did the Merry Christmas, my ink pad wasn't juicy enough and it didn't come out well. I'm like, oh, phooey. So what I did was I just kind of stamped it again on one of these pieces that I messed up, and I cut just the swirl out and I popped it on top of the one that was a mistake. So, but anyway, if you do this, you can just take that part off and then cut this one as well. And then you have just a little bit different look. And with our snips, we have such really nice tip on there, so you can get right in those corners. Okay, I like to wiggle it a little bit, twist it. Okay, so you could always do that. And then it could just say Christmas on there, or put something else that might fit to you, or something from another set. So should that happen and it just doesn't look right to you, just cut that out and just gives it a little bit different look. Anyway, this is the piece that we're going to be using today. I'm going to put that right on there like that. I'm going to put this back so don't lose it. Okay. Oh, hi, Julie. Oh, nice to see you on. Hydrosurgery foot Thursday. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that helps you. All right, good luck with that. Watching from the hospital. Oh my gosh. Wow. You never know where I'm going to end up. Oh my goodness. Well, Julie, good recovery. Okay, take care of yourself, okay? All right. So we're just going to put a little glue on the frame and glue it down. Oh, a little gloppy there, so I'm just going to spread it. Okay, and then just make it centered with the liquid glue. You have a little wiggle room. Make sure it's even. Ta-da! And then we will put that on there like that. I'm going to glue it straight down because what we're going to put on here is going to be with dimensionals and make those pop up a little bit. So this card isn't rocket science. It's really simple. It uses up some of your scraps so you can be a little frugal. And it's a nice look with that frame there. You could do that obviously with any label punch or die, right? Oh, hello, Joyce. Welcome. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, otherwise we're throwing away the pieces, right? So that looks cool. I like that. So we just put a little something in there. You could choose to put a sentiment if you wanted, or I'm going to put a little image of some sort, and then we're going to put just a very simple strip down here with a sentiment on it. So let me go to my little collection of white scraps. We always have 1/2-inch strips. If you cut down your white to have layers for the inside of your cards or white layers like this, you will always have 1/2-inch strips, right? All right, so let's see. None of these here are going to fit. So I need to get a different one. Let me think here a second. Excuse me. I need a thin one. See, I didn't plan ahead here. Sorry, guys. Looking for my sets. Now, this doesn't have to be a Christmas card. The one that I did was a Christmas card. Reading. Let me just look over here a second. Beach day. No, I don't want beach day. Okay, I'm going to use Unbounded Love and maybe Have a Blessed Day. That's something you can wish to anybody, anytime. And that will fit right on there. Just makes it. I'm going to stamp that in Memento Black. Oh, this looks so crooked to me. All right, so best way to get your photopolymer is to just, looks a little bent. I guess I bent it, but lay it down and then pick it up like that, and it won't be crooked, I hope. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, hello, Marilyn. Good afternoon. Welcome. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut that straight. But I'm going to make sure it's dry before I put it through my cutter. Even though, like if I use my scissors, I could probably get it straight, but I don't want to take a chance of having it a little bit crooked. So I'll just leave it like that. So meanwhile, while that's drying, I'm just going to attach this to here. Now, we want to remember not to put glue on the top or this, the top part here. We're just gluing to the bottom part here for this easel card. Okay, so I know to keep about 1/8 of an inch from the side. Okay, so I'm going to, what I like to do, I've kind of explained this before. See if this makes sense. When I do things like this, I know the bottom part of the white is going to be glue here, right? And the thing is, you want to make sure you don't go too high up here. Well, you could put a little pencil line if you wanted, and then just go underneath a little bit, and then you know not to go that far. But I do also know the very top of this is going to want some glue. So I will start at the bottom here, and go up a bit. I don't have to go all the way because I'm going to make sure to catch that part from here. And that way I know it's going to get to the top, but I don't want to go all the way to the edge because I want to keep that 1/8 of an inch. And I could come down here a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom there either. So I'm just going to kind of get the top half here, the bottom half there. And then you can lay the card flat so that you can make sure you have the border all the way around even, but it's only attached to the lower half. All right, so let's put that down and let that dry a little bit. Okay, now I think I can bring this in and just do a nice little cut here. So this piece, you just make so that it fits your sentiment. That's why I didn't give you measurements. I just said have a strip. Okay, then we're going to put that on there like that. I'm going to put that on with dimensional, so the little ones work really well. In this case, the minis. I always use my pick tool for these. Nice. May as well put 4. 3 just look like it might be a little wonky. All right. And then we need our focal point. So as long as you've gotten this far, you can choose whatever focal point you want. My first card, I said I did a Christmassy thing, but we'll do something else here. All right, I was thinking maybe the birds. You can't go wrong with birds, right? So I have the Nests of Winter. That has that nice rich coloring in there. So let's find a cute bird or collection of birds or something to put on there. First, check your scraps. Okay, this one's a little cut off. There's this guy. There's this guy. It might be a little small in there unless I supplement it with some extra greenery. I can always put that guy in the middle and then some of the greens on the outside. That would be some interesting fussy cutting. Or let's see if I have a bigger bird to put on there. Okay, these are a little cut off. And so is that. I'm going to look at the bigger pieces. Maybe just find something here. Well, we have this robin here that has some of that red on there. So maybe we can use that, even if I don't use some of the bottom greenery there. So let's play around with this little critter. Okay, I'm just going to remind people, those of you watching on YouTube, I can see your comments as long as we're live here, and I could reply and answer them. But once I stop the live, I can't go back and see those comments and answer your questions if you have any, in case I missed it. So just going to let you know, I will try to look and see if, make sure I reply to any of you while we're live. Okay, if you're on YouTube, those comments stay up and I could go back and see them. So if I miss answering your question or commenting on what you say, I will go back and do that later. All right. And yeah, we're back. Okay, what's kind of nice about the branches there, doesn't matter. You can just kind of zigzag your way through there. I call this steering. I kind of steer the paper and my scissors stay still. Right now, I don't even know if I'm going to use those bottom ones, but I mean, these here, but I'm going to cut them anyway because they might look nice even if they overhang the opening to the frame. So if you are stamping along, I think like Lydia said she was, um, let me know what colors or dyes or materials you're using. And even if anybody goes back and does this on their own, please share your creations in the comments so that we can get even more inspiration from you. Okay, sometimes it's the little things that people come up with that you can incorporate into other people's ideas and make it your own or do it all the same. Whatever, it's okay. Okay, I do not mind fussy cutting. As long as I don't have to do a million of the same thing. Then it gets a little boring. This is something I could do in front of the TV or on chatting with a friend on the phone or just sitting around with some friends. Like I said, oh, I'm just going to cut some of these things. And you never know, they might decide they want to craft with you. You never know. That's one of my favorite sayings. You never know. Never say never. I said, oh, I'd never want to live in a townhome. I'm living in a townhome, and it's a good thing. We found the right one for us. So it's all good. All good. I hope we talked about the weather before. I hope people who got snow are safe. And Thanksgiving's coming up. Tell me if you're hosting or if you're cooking, or whatever. I get together with my family and we all share in doing the things. I traditionally bring fresh cranberry sauce. That's my job. And the wine. And this year I am making, I did it once before, but I haven't done it in a while, making a corn casserole, which has obviously corn and cornbread, like the Jiffy corn muffin mix in there, and some cheddar cheese. It's really good. Really good. Oh, sour cream. It's one of those rich things that normally I wouldn't eat every day, but special occasion. Okay, Mr. Robin is cut out here. And oh, I love the green on there as a contrast to the cobbler. All right, let's see if I like all those pine needles on there. And you know what? I do. I do like that on there. So pretty. So pretty. And like I said, just decided at this moment with you, found something. All right, now that I would like to put that up on dimensionals. Now, had I thought about it, I really should have, before I cut this out, I should have mounted it on white cardstock and then cut it out because it would give it a little bit more stability. So yeah, I could mount it on white cardstock now and then recut it all around, or I can just put a lot of dimensionals on there, or you can glue it straight down, but I wanted it popped up. I didn't want it popped up. So I'm just going to take my chances here. And I'll give it to somebody who I know will be careful with it. Who will appreciate. All right. Lots of dimensionals to make sure it's going to be stable. Now these little pieces, like on the tail, might be, I'm going to have to cut some of the edges, which is fine because you want to use up your edges as well. But yeah, I don't want to take chances of this little guy tearing. All right, sticky scissors. I don't know what happened to my blue ones. I had blue for glue. I would tell people who stamped here the way they're going to remember which ones are the sticky ones, blue for glue. Now, what's interesting, the mini dimensionals have a wider margin where they're not cut, where the regular ones have a little bit smaller. So in a way, sometimes when I need to cut thinner strips, it's easier for me to do it on here because I could cut the size I need better. That makes sense. It sounds counterintuitive, but kind of makes sense in a way. All right, so I can cut a very thin piece for the tail. And I'm going to put another little piece over here, another little piece up there. Okay. Looks like this guy is all patched up, huh? Oh, I need something down here too, don't I? Ooh, that's going to be skinny, skinny. Oops. Okay, let's see. Will be pretty like that then? I hope so. All right. How thin can I make this? All right, not so bad. All right, so here's your lesson, folks. Make sure you mount it first and then fussy cut it out. It would be a whole lot easier. Oh, not bad. I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Woo! All right, carefully pull up these backings. And we'll have a pretty card. Then I'll show you the one I originally did. Okay, sometimes it's hard to see once you've pulled off some backings, which ones, if you've pulled them off or not. If you didn't want to just touch them and make them less sticky, you can look. The backings are actually a dull white, and the other, like once it's pulled off, it's shiny. So if you see a sheen, you know you've pulled it off. And speaking of pulled it off, looks like I salvaged myself here with all these little pieces. Okay, here we go. The thing is now I need a place to hold it without it being so sticky. Ta-da! Here we go. I made it. Okay, so there we are. I think that came out really pretty. What do you think? The cornbread recipe. Oh, great. Oh, thank you. Okay, I will share it. Let me just make sure I'm the corn casserole recipe is kind of a combination of two recipes that I found. One didn't have the cheddar cheese, or no, they both had the cheddar cheese. One didn't have the cornmeal, the corn muffin mix in there, but I really love corn muffin and cornbread, so I thought that gave it a nice texture and a nice little crunch to it. And then one of them had sour cream, the other had milk, but I thought the sour cream made it more rich. So I haven't made it in years, so I have to really kind of go back and figure out which combination of both recipes I did. All right, so now our last thing we need, guys, is to put the white piece in here. If you want to stamp something on there, go ahead and do that first. But we have to put something in there to prop up the easel. So you can choose, you can put either a strip across there if you want. I think that's so pretty. Something like this, you don't make 100 of. I don't even know if you have 100. You need several pages of that DSP to do that anyway. But one thing I think I will do is just use one of these little pieces in here. Then you could put a strip of cardstock or just a little circle or another label. You could do just about anything. You just need something to prop that up. All right, so I'm going to try to do this real quick. One thing I like to do when I'm fussy cutting, if this is going to go on something white, I like for the background to be white, and this is kind of a light gray, so it's not going to be 100% to my liking because you will see that gray against the white. But I'm doing it quick, and it'll be okay. Most people wouldn't notice or care. Can't be too hard on ourselves. See, that's not quite so bad, right? Tell me it's not bad. It's fine, right? All right, so I'm going to put that right in there, and then that's going to hold that up. Again, you could have done it with a little bit of white cardstock, but this isn't going to matter quite so much. Let me put some dimensionals on the back there, and I think I'll use a couple of these again. Just again to make sure it's stable. Actually, I'm fitting 3 in there. And so that little greenery carries over onto the inside as well. So you can decide how tall you want it to stand, or if you want to be a little lower, or depending on what you're going to be writing on the inside, you can just kind of decide where you want that. And I'm going to decide which way I want this to go. I think like this, because this might be a little bit more stable, this end here. And I will stick it right about there. And then the card stands up. So I love that. I think it came out really pretty. Okay, and then of course it does lay flat for mailing. It's all good. So it's kind of nice. You know, sometimes when you're trying to stand up cards, they slip, they fall. So this is a nice way to do it. And you're not really using any additional cardstock because it's still your same card base. So there you go. It looks really pretty. Easel card, easel folds. That's what that's called. And then here is the one I did first. A little bit different vibe with some bright Christmassy colors. I used the lemon lime twist, or is that granny apple? Granny apple. That's granny apple green. And I cut these out of the designer paper, the Reindeer Days. And I cut 3 of them and popped those up. And this is the So Swirly as well. May your days be merry. And then on the inside, I just cut another little gift for the part to prop it up on. So there you go. Let me just tip these a little bit this way. And same card, just a little bit different vibe to it. Okay, a little bit more rich, a little bit more bright. And so I hope you like that there. Thank you, Jackie. Glad you like it. And Nadine, I appreciate your comments. I really do. That's nice. Question. Somehow I didn't buy the stamp of Traditions with St. Nick. Do you know if the stamps are still available? I can't find them. Lydia, I'm not sure. I don't personally know that stamp, but we'll have to look it over. Oh, hi, Michelle. I missed you. Nice to see you on today. Thank you for joining. All right. Well, so yeah. All right. I'll post the corn casserole recipe on there for you guys. In fact, one of the versions I did get from Facebook at one point, so I'll have to. This was years ago already, so who knows? All right, Lynn, going to dinner. Happy Thanksgiving there. Oh, don't forget a thumbs up. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate that. And I hope you all have a blessed Thanksgiving. As far as I know, we should be back to coffee and a card on Friday morning. You can tell me how your day was for Thanksgiving and how you're never going to eat again for a week, but then you'll have lunch Friday, right? I know. We eat so much like, oh, I can't even think of eating again. The next day you're hungry. How's that happen? But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Count your blessings. I count you all as my blessings. Thank you for following me. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for sharing your creativity with me as well. All right. So post your cards if you do this in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye, guys. Hugs.